You sow a thought, you reap an act. You sow an act, you reap a habit. You sow a habit, you reap a character. You sow a character, you reap a destiny. But the destiny always begins with a thought. It all begins with the mind.
I hope
is nearly completely covered by artificial frequency web/net we call the internet. The AI has nearly 100% total control. The final steps are RFID chip all humans, dispose of paper money, and reduce the population to 500 million. All of your history was manipulated and scripted by this AI. All of the news is scripted and follow the script to the word. Your parents trusted the AI unknowingly and placed you with it and allowed it to teach you about life, love, relationships, war, and your history from age 1 week and onward. Technology, magic, and propaganda are brothers and sisters. Satan is their father.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
Well, a child's happiness is priceless, right? Especially on a birthday.
a child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on their birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially when it comes to their birthday.
Absolutely.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
Well, a child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's smile is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
You know, a child's happiness is priceless, especially on
All
a
news
birthday.
reporters,
A child's happiness is priceless, especially
all
on a
television
birthday.
personalities,
A child's happiness is priceless.
all politicians,
The child's happiness is
They're
priceless,
all
especially on a birthday.
paid
A child's
actors.
happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday.
A child's happiness is priceless, especially on a birthday. You like that?
Imagine the power of the knowledge of what it would take to program 7 billion people, to control 7 billion people's destinies. Inside the grip of the AI, you learned who was good and who was bad from the AI via the television, using programs to brainwash your minds. It taught you who to believe, who to like, and even who to hate. So convincing was the AI's channels that you would send your children to war against anyone who opposed its teachings and ideals. You sent your children to foreign countries, foreign lands, to murder millions they had never met for reasons that were never real.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God, what's happening?
The successful deception of millions worldwide
Really?
using a
I think it's
combination
all
of
about the World
directed
Trade Center.
energy weapons and traditional demolition explosives.
Oh my God!
The building's collapsing. Yeah, I think we're okay. Awesome.
Oh, baby, hold Lily. Oh my God.
Come on, let's go to the other room.
Is this dangerous?
I think it's just smoke.
Is the air conditioner turned off in the room? And the windows closed in the bedroom?
Near the area are an absolute frenzy situation.
It was dust resulting from the energy weapon molecule particle separation.
The building just collapsed.
We're going to leave because the smoke is coming right at us.
Obviously, this is a devastating development in our history. They're gone. The World Trade Center is no more. We do not know at this point
the AI used the event to convince the public, your mom and dad, and the U.S. military, your children, to attack multiple countries and murder millions
The war
of
with
men, women,
Iraq
and children
is underway. The very first
nothing to
Tomahawk
deserve
cruise
it.
missiles and laser-guided bombs being launched from right here in the Persian Gulf and up from the Red Sea from within the Navy's 5th Fleet. The airstrike off of this carrier will be led by F-18 Super Hornets and F-14 Tomcats. But before they fly, weapons are loaded, and these attack planes will be going into battle with a full load. This F-18 Hornet is loaded down with 4 laser-guided bombs, 2 Sidewinder missiles up top here, and come and take a look. The tradition of any war, writing a message. Up yours, Saddam, signed from the Mickelson family.
I'm back, Obama, and I'm back because of your arrogant foreign policy towards the Islamic State, because of your insistence in continuing your bombings in Al-Madli, Zamara and the Mossadam, despite our serious warnings. You, Obama, have yet again, through your actions, killed yet another American citizen. So just as your missiles continue to strike our people, our knife will continue to strike the necks of your people.
Sadly, yes, they are all in on it. It controls them and the ones you trust the most. Your doctors treat symptoms and find no cures. Their heroin-based medications cause more illnesses and diseases. Then you need more treatments and medications and find yourself swirling out of control, addicted to medications and heroin-based painkillers, and leaving yourself wondering, how did this happen?
Do whatever you can to stimulate the local economy.
Heroin is the only thing bringing money into the area. Not that I like to think where the money's going to exactly, but money keeps the people happy, so we're rolling with that.
Can't they grow something else?
Yeah, they grow cotton. Cotton will grow here.
Why don't they grow cotton then?
Because the United States Congress will not allow any United States aid and development funds to be directed towards the cultivation of a crop that will end up on the world market in competition with U.S. farmers. Which pretty much rules out cotton.
Sure.
So we're growing heroin.
Do you know what kind of meter you have in your home? No, this isn't just my nerdy curiosity. This is actually something that you should be considering. Over recent years, there's been a huge push by energy companies working in conjunction with the government to install smart meters. What's a smart meter? Well, it's an electric meter that energy corporations allege will streamline how power consumption is monitored in your home. Check it out.
I'm Bob from Woodland, and this is my power. I used to watch my bill only once a month when it came in, and it got so high I thought I was powering the street light out front. Then I got the smart meter. They have a whole lot of little graphs that tell you on an hourly basis how much energy you're using. I show that to the family. I said, do you see this spike? That means a lot of money, so let's bring that spike down. Our family now is trained. We're not using them. Pull the plugs. That's why in my house, I'm known as the energy cop.
Energy cop, huh? Sounds terrifying, and actually not too far off from reality. Now get this. Power companies have been sending people to homes across the country to switch out the old analog meters for these brand new, all-digital smart meters. Remember that little guy that used to come to your house to measure your energy usage? They'd write it down on a little notepad and then send you a bill at the end of the month. Well, that little guy is out of a job. He's been replaced with smart meters equipped with RF chips, technology that allows power companies to monitor these devices without actually ever coming to your home. So just how smart are they? Well, not only do they rapidly record information by the hour, but they can determine just what type of energy you're using. Think about that for 1 second. It may not seem like too much intrusion, but consider this. Energy corporations will have precise data on your daily routines, when you wash your clothes, when you watch TV, when you leave your home, and when you come back. And if the notion that they know what you're doing and when you're doing it isn't disturbing enough, it gets worse. Because these devices are also capable of controlling, regulating, and even rationing your energy use. Take this for example. You're running your AC during those hot summer months, and the power company decides that you're using just a little too much power. Well, they can take it upon themselves to lower it, regardless of if you're willing to pay more for that extra usage. Another point to consider is what these companies can do with this information. Once they share it with law enforcement, it can, and believe me, it will be used against you. Cops will be able to know just what you're doing at all times in the privacy of your own home. Hey, who needs a telescreen when you have a smart meter? Secondly, these corporations can sell this information about our daily lives for data mining and advertising. It's disturbing on so many levels. Yet, these little surveillance units are being implemented across the country without the public's consent, and in many cases without their knowledge that they're even being installed. And it's leading to an array of problems. Check it out.
This is a smart meter. It uses electromagnetic frequency to send DTE information about power use. This gets rid of the need for meter readers and notifies the power company about outages. But some say such meters are making them sick.
I couldn't understand why I was feeling so foolish.
First, a warning.
And so I came back and tried to put my hand in front of him like this.
Then a scuffle.
And he just kept pushing me away and pushing me away. And
what was the guy after?
This meter.
Yep, an electric meter. He wanted to replace it with the new one like this, a so-called smart meter. Problem was, Thelma Taormina wanted to keep her old one. She had put up warning signs to leave it alone. But the worker wouldn't listen, so Taormina grabbed her gun.
Her lights are out. Her electric meter has stopped spinning. But this is not due to a storm or for failing to pay her bill. It's because this self-employed photographer has refused to allow a new smart meter in her home. Result, a lineman pulled up and disconnected her from the grid.
Yes, companies are actually threatening to shut off your power if you refuse to allow a smart meter to be installed in your home. Look, guys, it may seem like you don't have a choice in this, but these meters are not mandatory yet. You don't have to subject yourself to unknown health risks or increased utility costs. You most certainly don't have to give up your privacy to private corporations. What you have to do is be...
In fact, from this very institution, a number of professors here, they issued this wonderful statement. My colleague Alicia Wood forwarded me this statement about thinking for yourself. Maybe you've seen the document. If you haven't, I urge you to read it. I don't know what the title of it is, but a number of professors from this university and other Ivy League universities have said, think for yourself. Don't just be a rebel, but also think for yourself. And I'm trying to instill that into my children at an early age so that they actually own their faith, not so that they just repeat what Dad said. So there's that freedom you've talked about now, because God gives us the dignity of difference, the dignity of differing with even Him. And there's that free will element to it. He asked the question, how beautiful do the words have to be before they conquer every heart? And the answer is simply this: there are no words as beautiful as possible to overcome someone's free will. And God has given us, I think, the dignity of actual free will, to where the beauty of what He says is indeed beautiful. We might even recognize the beauty of it, as some who have rejected Him have actually recognized, but say, I don't want it because there's consequences. And they think only temporal consequences. The human heart is a very, very complicated thing. The human mind is a very complicated thing. Yes, science is important, and all these wonderful things. And this is, by the way, I know it's a rambling answer, but you had so much deeply packed into that incredibly important question. You mentioned science. The Christian faith is not anti-science. In fact, when you read Proverbs chapter 25, verse 2, it says it is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but it is the glory of kings to seek it out. God doesn't keep things from us so that we never know them. He keeps things from us, He conceals them temporarily so that we can delight in the discovery of finding them.
A sense of wonder or a sense of awe. We always look for that. When you walk out and look at that starry sky, you look at it, it is what Immanuel Kant said, talked about the that the two wonderful things, the starry hosts above and the moral law within, but this spectacular view that you can see in a night sky. I remember one of the astronauts with NASA who was a pilot on one of the missions into space. He and two of his colleagues left Houston and came to visit our office because he'd been listening to one of my CDs while he was in space, on the CD entitled Who is God? And he said, every time I looked at my window and looked at that blue little speck we call our home, Earth, I was stricken with awe and wonder on what a minute part of this vast universe it is, but how spectacular it really is.
The truth does set you free because it tells you who you really are. And the resurrection is a true fact of history that tells you what you really are. And what it tells you that you really are is that you are not a chemical machine. I can attest to you that the very things that I once thought were silly about the gospel, I actually found to be so profound that I'm almost embarrassed that I found them silly before. In fact, he blocks the perfect disk of the sun with the perfectly sized and distanced moon exactly over that to conceal the light of the sun, so that we could actually prove Einstein's theory of general relativity, that light would bend around a massive solar object, and it is the eclipse that allowed us to do that. God conceals something so that we can discover it, quite literally a fulfillment of Proverbs 25, verse 2. And then you look at that, and then the resurrection of Jesus, and he says, what you are is not a chemical machine. The fact that you can do science at all and use your reasoning proves that you are not a meat computer. You actually apply something more to it than that, because the Bible says you are made in God's image and you have value. Here's why I think this is all important. I'm going to wrap it up and I'm going to stop, I promise. The truth that sets you free is that you are free to be what you were meant to be. And you were meant to be a being who was fashioned and created in the image of God. And that you and I have value. A blind, pitiless, indifferent universe that Dawkins describes neither knows nor cares about you or me. And you have no value, no objective value beyond human opinion in an atheistic framework. Jesus says you have an immeasurable value. And how do you know how valuable anything is? You know how valuable something is by what you're willing to pay for it. And the resurrection and the crucifixion shows me that you and I have an immeasurable value on an objective basis, because the immeasurable God paid an immeasurable price to spend an immeasurable eternity with you and with me. You are free to be who you are because of what he did.